Shh. Okay, honey.
This is gonna be long. Is this gonna be long?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Coleman. I will be performing or doing a CRA example of a kindergarten lesson, a concrete representational abstract example of a kindergarten lesson. Being that it is summer, I'm not in my classroom, I don't have all the same supplies that I typically do, so I'm just going to make shift with what I would normally have up on my board. And I always have the objective, the essential question, the agenda, and just different things, vocabulary. For the purpose of this lesson, I don't have any students, but I do have my 3.5-year-old daughter. So she's going to be doing her best. Can you say hi to the camera?
Hi.
Say, look over there, say hi.
Hi, my name is Autumn.
This is Autumn, yep. She will be helping us, right Autumn? You excited? I also, it's hard to see on the camera, but I also have a sticker chart or a star chart next to Autumn's desk. Being that I am a resource teacher for special education students, I always have some kind of positive behavioral support that they're working towards, and I would have their target behavior up at the top. And they would earn just kind of depending based on the needs. Every student is different. So Autumn has her star chart right here, and she's working for an ice cream cone at the end of this lesson. At the beginning of every lesson, thanks. At the beginning of every lesson, I always start with the objective, and I would read this and I would have the students repeat after me. So Autumn, can you repeat after me? Okay, students will, okay, oh, how do we sit in our chair? Thank you. Count to tell the number of objects. So students will count to tell the number of objects. So today we're going to be counting to find out how many total objects we have. Okay, our essential question, or what we want to learn from today: what happens when you join together numbers or groups? What happens? Does that number get bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
It does get bigger, Autumn. This is our second round doing this lesson, so Autumn is a little bit familiar with things. And then I do have our agenda. Some of it's crossed out from our previous try. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just check on the camera. Okay, show me how you sit in the chair, please.
Okay, picture.
Thank you. I'm going to give you your first star for being so awesome and for listening.
I got red and black and black and black and red.
That's right. Okay, so for our first example, we will be doing concrete. I would have Unifix cubes. I don't have access to those right now. I would not use these. These are different shapes and they flip over. These would be very distracting for a student, so this is just what we're using today. I would not use this in the classroom. We are going to be using these, Autumn, to count up to find out how many total. And I'm going to do the first one for you. So I want everything down, pencils down, so teacher's going to show you how to do the first one, okay? So pencils down and eyes up. Good job. So on Autumn's paper, what's hard for you to see, I have something that looks like this. And I would have these on the student's desk. This is where they would be putting each group, and the total would be below. So the first example I would pose, I like to do a gradual release model where I do one completely on my own, then Autumn and I would do one together, and then Autumn would do one independently. So at this time I would pose to Autumn that we are going to find out. I want her to show me a group of 1, and then I want her to show me a group of 2, and then we would count the total. So if I had a group of 1, and then I have a group of 2, and I'm going to count just to make sure. A group of 1, okay, there's only 1 there. And then a group of 2, 1, 2. So my total is 1, 2, 3. So I know that.
Buckle my shoe.
Right. So I'm going to put 3 below. 1, 2, 3. Okay, at this point, we would move on to the for Autumn to try one on her own, or with myself. Okay, Autumn. So this time we would do one together. I think Autumn is almost done, so I'm just going to kind of show what I would expect a student to do. We were going to add 2 groups of 2 together. We're going to do one group of 2 and another group of 2. So let's see, are there 2 in this one? 1, 2. 2 in this one.
Like show.
Yep, 2 in this one. 1, 2. So let's count how many total. 1, 2. Oh, right here, Autumn. I need your fingers on the objects, please. Ready? Eyes up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many total?
4.
Good job. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 4. Good. Can you count them by yourself this time, Autumn?
I'm going to count it fast.
However you want to count it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so at this point I would make sure to let the student know that we need to slow down and count one object at a time. So let me see your finger again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many total? 4. So we would put the total number below and we would want 4 below. Perfect. At this point in time, once a student has shown mastery, they would go on to the independent stage, and I would pose the problem to the student. I would say, okay, if you have a group of 3 and a group of 1, can you find the total? What I would expect to see, they would show 3 in this box, 1 in this box, and they would get 4 total. My reminders would be to have them slow down, count one at a time, and to count as they go. A common problem is that students, they will count the same object twice, they'll skip them, so I would be, checking to do those reminders. Okay, count one at a time, let's slow down, let's do the total, count out loud. So once they have shown mastery on that concrete level, we would be going to the representational. And I would let them know, okay, Autumn, guess what? We have done with this. We can cross something off of our agenda. And I am going to give you another star for working so hard. And you're a rock star. Okay. So next we would be going into our representational. This is where we're going to be drawing to show our number. So Autumn, do you want to use tally marks or stars? Of course you do, because you're a rock star, right? Okay, we are going to be using stars for our representations.
Yeah.
So, Autumn.
What?
Okay, show me how you sit in your chair. Good, and eyes up on the teacher, please. Awesome. Give me a smile. Thank you. All right. So, if we're going to be doing, Autumn, a group of 2, that's a weird star. And we're going to be doing a group of 2 and then a group of 1. I'm going to find out the total. So let's see, Autumn. I have 1, 2 in this group and 1 in this group. And now I'm going to count the total. 1, 2, 3. So my total was 1, 2, 3. I'm going to count it just to make sure. 1, 2, 3. So what you can do is you can use, this is what I would tell the student before, they can use things like stars, they can use tally marks, they can use happy faces,